Okay, I guess this will have to be it. There's a rainbow on my face. I got this new phone stand to record, and this company's entire claim to fame is that it will make recording easy and flawless, and it is working really great, but my goodness, this is not as straight as they said it would be. But then again, neither am I. It has been a long time since I have done a sketchbook tour. It's been a long time since I did YouTube videos at all, let alone regularly. So I thought we could do a fun sketchbook tour today because I finished a bunch of them in the last year and never showed anyone any of them. So let's do this. Today we're touring this sketchbook. It literally took me years to finish it. There's all kinds of work in here that I am not proud of, maybe was never proud of, but definitely am no longer proud of, but that's okay because sketchbooks are for working through issues, and this represents issues in the last 4 years of my life. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this sketchbook is a Handbook Co. a watercolor sketchbook. The strap is barely hanging on, literally by a thread. And I got this sketchbook in 2017. And I was a different person in 2017. So we're gonna look through this and we're gonna find out together what's in this because truly I cannot remember. I finished it in November of 2021. So I finished it fairly recently. Some of the information is in this corner. February 12, 2017. Whoo, buddy. So this sketchbook has very thick paper. It is sort of a smooth yet cold press watercolor texture, and it's really nice for watercolor. So I was testing a bunch of colors here, just trying to figure out the washes, and I definitely thought I would put something on this black square and nothing's there, so here we go. This picture, this is based on a picture of me actually. I used to cosplay, and I did Black Cat dressed as Spidey, and I was trying to figure out how bodies worked when I did this. I used a lot of watercolor in this book. It's going to be a lot of open spaces. I don't really like filling out my sketchbook pages. Well, I didn't before until recently. Now I do more. But I was still struggling with the idea of more than one thing per spread. So you can kind of see me working through that. I like this character still. I think the hair is cool. I should maybe redraw this. Comment below if I should redraw this. Also, I will link I'll link to this sketchbook if anybody is interested in it. I was trying to figure out just like interesting ways to draw female bodies, like do galaxy textures, do roses without trying too hard. This is me attempting to plan things before I do them. This is before I ever did thumbnails, and then an artist I follow did these little mock-ups. Her name is Tori. Her old channel was called Juicy Ink. Her new channel, I think, is Victoria Gervais. I will link it below. She did these really sweet little like color studies when she was trying to decide colors, and it was honestly a good idea, and is still a good idea. This is how I used to draw bodies. I no longer draw bodies like this, I think. Very, very tiny waist. But I do still like the colors of this. Like, I can see that I was working through some worthwhile stuff. Marker will bleed through on this paper, and not very much, not as much as normal, but it will still bleed through. I think this is the first time I ever tried gouache. RIP that hand. But it was fun seeing how sort of like smooth and flat gouache can be in this paper. More just like random color stuff. Again, just trying to like figure out the textures that are happening, you know, play with some like clean lines and stuff like that. I don't know. At the time, this felt very random, but now I can kind of see the stuff I was working through that is helpful today. Reenie and Jigglypuff. I had this whole idea of doing a series of Sailor Moon / Pokemon drawings, and I think, yes, there's some in here. This was a fun series to do. I didn't get very far. I think I did like 2 of these, maybe 3 before I gave up. But look at Glaceon and Sailor Mercury. I'm happy with that. That's still like, it's still not bad, honestly. It wasn't that bad. Why did I think I was worse in 2017? Sailor Moon with Evie. Oh, couldn't decide which Pokemon Sailor Moon would get, so here we are. I had these all planned out too. I had like a list and everything. Oh, and I did Mars as well. So there's Mars and Flareon. There we go. The Evie evolutions are very fun to draw. I had done other drawings of them too. This is when I was like squarely in my fan art phase. And yeah, this was fun. I don't know why I didn't continue this actually. Here's a girl crying paint for all of you emos out there. Don't worry, I was one of them. I'm not making fun of you. Also trying to figure out some sort of like different shapes for landscapes and some just like nicely framed paintings. And yes, I could have painted in here, but why would I? It's funny, I can remember all of the YouTube videos I was watching specifically in 2017 when I look at some of these. Like, I know that I was watching a lot of Audra Auclair when I saw this. I know I was seeing Kellogg's Loops, I believe, for the first time when I did this one in particular. This is based on Scarlett Johansson as Ghost in the Shell, but look, it was just for reference. I just needed to draw a human. That was still geeky. Don't at me, okay? Working through some portraits. I'm pretty sure these were from Instagrams. I was using a different watercolor palette, putting out some watercolors. It was a Rigor Arts watercolor palette, apparently. Take one. This is in April. Was trying to do an elf girl holding some branches of willow. Never finished this, but obviously I had a clear idea of where I was going. Trying to do some like washi stuff while I was listening to a Coco Rosie song. It was a Coco Rosie featuring a Noni song. I made a little note to myself about what kind of came to mind. I really like that I did this. I should do that more. That's sort of fun. I've always wanted to do more art journal-y things, but then I've never actually done it. This is me trying to block stuff that I didn't like very much. You can see the characters under there. This is definitely when I started watching Lee Ellickson videos, and then I started sort of like taking inspiration from her style and just figuring out why it worked for her and seeing what would work for me. So it's something I was like working through a lot with all of my favorite artists. I would like do stuff in their style and then just see what works for me. Trying to play with some perspective on the hands here, just still trying to get hands to this day. But you know, for 5 years ago, that wasn't bad. I really like these cats. I still like these cats. Also do like my dancing rainbows. It's 2018. I suddenly discovered that I had this sketchbook once again in 2018. I'm pretty sure painting used to be there and just came out, and I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I was working through painting, figuring out what kind of paints I like. I haven't used this sketchbook in a year. I like this page. This page is very honest about where I'm at. I really like these otters. I think this like really shocked one is definitely my favorite. Those are like very happy fox. I liked these. This was the start of like figuring out how to do animals that I liked. Some more practice. How about we just try it? This is me trying to convince myself to try more things. I really like these. I like these lips specifically. Oh, and I was trying to do a drawing every day challenge for a year. I think I got into the 200s before I started to fall off actually, but so, you know, it did its job even if I didn't keep it up for a year. Experimenting with washi tape. This is like washi tape that's cut out. This is from Mermaid 2018. Trying different brushes, trying different paintings, trying to Mermaid. I always give Mermaid a concerted effort and then just get really tired of mermaids like after the 4th one. I notice that every year. This is probably the case here too. And this is 2021, so look at that jump. 2018. 2021. So I was trying to specifically figure out what kinds of drawings I wanted to do for my poetry book when I got to this page. I have a poetry book. It's coming out this year. I don't know when yet. You can bet I'll be noisy about it when I do know, but it's coming out in a couple of months. I'm finishing it up right now. And I was trying to decide what kind of art to put in it. And people is like all I did for my entire life. People is almost all I did. The animals you saw are like some of the only animals I've ever drawn. But it just, I like these, but it didn't feel right for the poetry book. It felt too on the nose. It felt like it was giving too much of a face to like the very emotional poetry that's in there, and I wanted more abstract pieces. So I went in a different direction. This spread I really love. I think the pig's cute. I like this little like rainbow area. So I did this painting and I did this rose. and then left this out overnight to dry. And then the next day I noticed it was very flat and there was some cat hair on it. And my cat, Little Gray, sat on the whole spread overnight, just sleeping there. And the thing is that the hair and the slight oils from her sleeping there changed the texture of the paper so that the paint wouldn't bind to the surface. So I was struggling trying to get the paint to bind to the surface. And then finally I just like went with it and was like, you know what? Thank God for colored pencils. And it worked out. I love this piece too. We're getting to the part of the sketchbook I really like and actually remember because it was last year. A friend of mine was doing a drink and draw, basically a virtual drink and draw. And so we all followed her instructions to make these together. And some people used one marker. She was using a bunch of different colored markers. I used watercolors because I am extra. But I love how it turned out. It's just so cute. And I forget that I get a lot of pleasure from very simple shapes, very simple organic shapes like this and like this. And that's something I want to keep exploring, even though I feel like I never really know how to, because I don't come naturally to it or something like that. Lots of strawberries. I really just wanted to draw Sailor Moon. That's all this is. I just wanted to draw Sailor Moon, and I wanted to try my new Posca pens, and they actually they were pretty nice on this. The skin color is watercolor, but the Posca pens blended really nicely here. And this is definitely Posca as well. So it's like a mix of gouache and Posca. I just wanted to see how it would feel on the paper. Very angry tiger, very, very angry. And, you know, go vote, because there was a local election in 2021. I live in New York, and it's important to vote in your local elections. The only way to make big changes is to make small changes. So that's your PSA for me. Florida. I went with my partner to see his dad in Florida. His mom and dad have a house there, and they have this ginormous mango tree. I mean, there were so many mangoes everywhere. It was amazing. And I've never seen a mango tree with mangoes on it in person, and the way they hang down on these like vines is like, it's so insane to me. It's so cool. So had to draw all of the mangoes, put a lot of like just sort of like tropical colors, very bright things. Yeah, I loved doing that. And then I drew this girl. I don't know, I just wanted to use these colors. And I wanted to do something that was limited palette and had very bold black lines. So I wanted to test out that kind of style with these characters, and I really like how these turned out. I especially like this eye and this person's jacket. By the way, if you can hear music outside, it's because I live near a school. Yes, I moved out of my mom's apartment, it lives near a school, and I still live near a school. I can't get away. This page is just pencil drawings. I just wanted to practice some like anime style, shoujo style pencil drawings, and I love these. I think they're so cute. I'm sorry if they're kind of hard to see because of the sun. I thought this would be pretty, and now I feel like maybe it was a mistake. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. You're just gonna have to deal with this tiny rainbow still. But yeah, I really like how these turned out. I think the line work's really delicate. I'm trying to work on getting a style that is very shoujo influenced, because I just love those shapes. I love that line work. But it still feels very me, and feels like something I can gravitate to naturally. And then some gourds, some pumpkins, some squashes, because it was November at that point. Very, very sulky looking tree. Some radishes, which I've never drawn before. Trying to use Posca again here. This is gouache with Posca over it. And I really liked how the bold colored lines sort of pop with the big areas of like sort of washier color. And then this is a little swatch thing that I made when I mixed my first set of primary gouache colors. And it's really cool. This thing has like a little pocket back here. There was like convention stickers back here from a con I went to. I took this on the road. I took this book everywhere. And that's it. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. and I hope I will be posting more videos. I plan to. I have many recorded. I just have to edit them. A couple of people have commented and subscribed on my older videos, even though I haven't been here for a while, and I'm so grateful. It's really nice to know that people can still find my work and enjoy what I do and listen to me for some reason. So thank you for that, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Take care, friends.